Guess who?
All right, we're going to talk about unity and gravity control.
Okay.
And we wanted to talk about the most important aspect of unity involves the dynamics of universe
All right.
without absolute terms of reference. So separating the various values of trade and commerce from the world of atoms and galaxies is the topic to be discussed. And this is a very important point because this is where it all falls apart. We can't use meters, seconds, grams, and kilograms to assess the universe. We can do that if we're buying cheese. We can do that when we're buying petrol. But we cannot do that when we're assessing the universe, whether it be atoms or galaxies.
Why not?
Because in order to do that, we would have to have an absolute universe to apply our absolute terms of reference to. And we don't have such a universe. We have a dynamic universe. So we must apply dynamic terms and realize that there is no such thing as an absolute term of reference to apply to this universe. And if we continue to do so, we will fail. In fact, our civilization will fail because we're just too dumb to see that we weren't buying cheese and petrol. It sounds funny, I know, but it's true. And people keep insisting. They say, well, we use an atomic clock. And the rate of decay is absolute. Well, I'm sorry to inform you that that's not true. It's been proven not true. And there is no such thing as an absolute term of reference in this universe where we live right now. If we want to have an absolute universe, we're going to have to ask somebody how we build one. But we don't have one right now. And this is the important point that we have to get past, which we've applied it to the speed of light. We say the speed of light is constant, millions and billions of years. It's always stayed the same. It's universal. Time is universal. Sorry, folks, it's not universal. It's not constant. It's not absolute. It's changing continually. Dynamic is dynamic. Static is static. And we don't have a static universe. You only have to look into the sky to see that. Everything is changing. And if you notice, some days it's raining, some days the sun is shining, and some days there's earthquakes, and some days there's fog. And those are changes. If it was static, we'd have none of those changes. Everything would be the same. And it'd be very, very boring.
You mean like here?
Yes. So we have to learn to adapt. And it seems very difficult for some people to adapt to the idea that they are not buying cheese or petrol. They are trying to assess the universe. And the universe is not going to cooperate with those people who insist on their grams and their kilograms and their liters and their seconds and their hours and even their years.
So,
It's not going to work out.
so Einstein was such a famous guy that he believed, and so the world believed, that we lived in a static universe until he changed his mind.
Yes, well, he realized the error of his ways, which, yes, we all make errors and we all have to cough up to the fact that we're not infallible. We make mistakes.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest mistakes was to consider the universe static, which, when you think about it, was quite a blunder. But he had a sense of humor and he could laugh and say, well, yeah, it was a big mistake. But you see, people have a hard time listening to somebody who will say, hey, I made a mistake, I blew it. So everybody says, well, we don't want to hear about that. We don't want to hear anything from somebody like you. I mean, we already got it under our belt here. We learned all this. So just get lost with all this new stuff. You change your mind? No, you can't do that. It's not allowed. I mean, yes, of course, people accept the fact that the universe is dynamic, but they're still going along with this idea that there are actually absolute terms of reference that can be applied to universe. And the speed of light